J-Bone here with my dog Millie, and it is time to preview and predict this weekend's 2024 Formula One Miami Grand Prix that hopefully will not be cringe this year. Okay, no. I'm actually going to interrupt myself yelling my own name like I am a Pokemon, because we need to talk about this. The cringiest F1 race is easily the Miami Grand Prix. And the worst part is, it just continues to get cringier every year. At the inaugural Miami Grand Prix back in 2022, who can forget the world infamous fake water in the marina that everyone was referencing when they called the Miami Grand Prix the Walmart Monaco Grand Prix, which, accurate. And also, who can forget how the race organizers made the podium finishers wear NFL football helmets instead of the standard Pirelli hats, which made them all look like the Great Gazoo from the Jetsons. At last year's Miami Grand Prix, who can forget the world-infamous driver introductions that included F1 Artist-in-Residence will.i.am, which I cannot believe is a real title, fake conducting an orchestra for like 8 minutes while LL Cool J valiantly tried yet failed to make the whole thing not weird. There was also a rumor that the marina fake water would no longer be fake that turned out to be false, and the VIP food pricing went viral for being hilariously overpriced. And then you have this year's Miami Grand Prix, which is set up to be cringe itself because it is a sprint weekend, which many F1 fans hate, because the water in the marina is still fake, because it is still being raced on a glorified parking lot, and because the race organizers still refuse to make the racetrack go through Hard Rock Stadium instead of around it, in what would be a move so cool it would instantly make the race not cringe. Now that that's out of the way, here's what you need to know about the F1 Miami Grand Prix and its circuit, the Miami International Autodrome, ahead of this weekend's race. The Miami Grand Prix race weekend starts this Friday, May 3rd, which, because it is a sprint weekend, will consist of FP1 and the sprint shootout qualifying session that determines the grid for Saturday's sprint race. Saturday will consist of the sprint race and Grand Prix qualifying, and Sunday contains the Grand Prix. This will be the third running of the Miami Grand Prix and the first running of it as a sprint weekend. Interestingly, Max Verstappen has not only never been on pole in Miami, but he's never even qualified on the front row there. But folks, if you think Max not qualifying well in Miami has stopped him from dominating the Miami Grand Prix, you are sorely mistaken. In 2022, Max started the Miami Grand Prix P3 and ended up winning, and last year, Max started the race P9 and still ended up not just winning, but winning by 5 seconds over his teammate Checo, who started the race on pole. Hopefully, for entertainment's sake, Max's qualifying woes continue and his race dominance ends. As far as the circuit goes, the Miami International Autodrome is 5.412 kilometers or 3.36 miles in length, and the Miami Grand Prix will consist of 57 laps around its 19 turns, while the sprint race will consist of 19 laps. The Miami International Autodrome contains 3 straights, each with their own DRS detection lines and activation zones. However, it's nothing like the Red Bull Ring, for instance, which also features those same DRS and straight characteristics, as the Miami International Autodrome also contains a number of highly technical sections requiring higher levels of grip that teams need to account for when setting up their cars. Most notably, there is the S of turns 4 to 6, the double apex turn 7-8 complex, the turn 11-13 horseshoe, and the very tricky and controversial turn 14-15 chicane that's caused numerous crashes and is generally disliked by everybody because it doesn't set drivers up well for overtakes on the long back straight and is also annoying to drive in the F1 video game. Many people think this is F1's worst chicane now that Barcelona's Spain chicane is gone. Arguably the most exciting area of the circuit is turn 1, as drivers looking to overtake there at the end of the shortest DRS straight will have to get off the racing line and thus risk locking up in order to get the move done. By the way, if you've been wondering where I got these awesome Miami-colored sunglasses, it is from my sponsor, Goodr Sunglasses. The fine people at Goodr are revolutionaries who make the best sunglasses on planet Earth. Here's why. First, let's talk price. Goodr's sunglasses start at just $25, so they don't break the bank and your day won't be ruined if you happen to lose them. All Goodr sunglasses are also 100% polarized, made of high quality yet lightweight materials, and they are specially designed to not slip or bounce while on your face. I promise you that you'll never find another pair of sunglasses that are so high quality yet so affordable, and that is why you need to pick up a pair of Goodrs so you can see for yourself. And if you somehow aren't yet convinced that you need Goodrs, they come in a ton of styles and colors, from fun like these to classic like these, so you're sure to find something you'll love, and they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee if you aren't 100% satisfied, so you have nothing to lose by giving them a shot. If you want to support the show and try a pair for yourself, Goodr is giving Formula Bone listeners free shipping. You can go to goodr.com/fbone and use code FBONE for free shipping. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that's goodr.com/fbone and use code FBONE for free shipping. Next up, here are some F1 storylines you should be following throughout the 2024 Miami Grand Prix weekend. First, if you're from the United States, you need to watch this weekend's Formula One Miami Grand Prix because it's the home race of America's only F1 driver, Logan Sargeant. And when I say home race, I don't just mean because he's from the United States. Logan Sargeant is literally from the Miami area, so it's one of the few times you get to see an F1 driver race in their own backyard, which always is fun because the crowd is always going crazy. Now, unfortunately, I'm not saying you need to watch the Miami Grand Prix because Logan is going to perform well in it, because sadly, he's probably not going to. Logan has not finished higher than 14th place so far this season and actually finished in last place at last year's Miami Grand Prix. Instead, I'm saying you need to watch the Miami Grand Prix this year because it very well may be the last time you get to watch an American F1 driver race in America for a while. Logan Sargeant is expected to lose his Formula One seat by the end of this season due to a lack of development from him, paired with the high number of promising young drivers currently waiting in the wings for an F1 seat. There are even some rumblings that Logan might lose his seat as early as immediately after the Miami Grand Prix, meaning this could be your last chance to watch an American race in F1 for a while, period. Whenever Andretti are eventually granted an F1 team, they'll certainly start off with at least one American driver, but who knows when that'll be. All that is to say, if you're an American, be sure to tune into the Miami Grand Prix this weekend to support your fellow countryman, Logan Sargeant. He's gonna need it. Second, keep an eye on the McLaren and Mercedes Formula One teams this weekend in Miami. Both teams will be introducing upgrade packages at the Miami Grand Prix, which is a big deal. Why? Because Miami is a sprint weekend, meaning there's only one practice session. Typically, teams will wait to introduce upgrades until non-sprint weekends so that they have more time to understand these upgrades across all three practice sessions to ensure they are actually upgrades and not downgrades. The fact that McLaren and Mercedes are both introducing reportedly large upgrades to their cars in Miami means they think these upgrades will either immediately improve their cars or that they will almost certainly improve their cars in the long run, both of which bode well for McLaren and Mercedes if either turns out to be the case. These two teams are introducing their upgrades in wildly different circumstances. McLaren are coming off a season-best P2 finish in China and are hoping their upgrades help them out in their fight against Red Bull and Ferrari at the front, whereas Mercedes are in the middle of their worst season start in recent years and are just hoping to get their car competing for top 5 finishes again. So keep an eye on McLaren and Mercedes all weekend long to see the potential impact of these upgrades. Next up, the most depressing Formula One record of all time is about to be broken this weekend. Once the lights go out at the Miami Grand Prix on Sunday, signifying the race has begun, Haas F1 team driver Nico Hülkenberg will officially break F1's most depressing record, the record for the most race starts without a race win in Formula One history at 209 winless race starts. While this record is already depressing at face value, there are two factors that somehow make it even more depressing. First, there's the fact that Nico Hülkenberg already has the record for the most race starts without a podium finish, and there's nobody even remotely close to him there. I must note, he's also the only person at the top of the most races without a win leaderboard without a podium finish. Then, there's also the fact that Nico Hülkenberg got his first and only ever pole position when he was a rookie all the way back in 2010 and is the 10th youngest pole sitter in F1 history, meaning he's been in the fight for a win or podium for that long and still has not been able to make it happen. All hope is not lost for Hulk, though. If he wins the Miami Grand Prix or any other race in his career, his name will be forever removed from both the most race starts without a win and most race starts without a podium leaderboards. And considering Hulk just signed a big deal with Audi, who have huge ambitions when they enter F1 in 2026, I think Nico just might make that happen before he hangs up his helmet. Heck, maybe he'll even do it at Haas. Your next F1 storyline to follow, it's official. It has now been an entire calendar year since a Formula One driver not named Max Verstappen or Carlos Sainz has won an F1 race. The 2023 Azerbaijan Grand Prix took place on April 30th, 2023, and was won by Checo Perez. Since that race, there have been 23 races, essentially a full F1 season's worth, at least before F1 stupidly decided to make seasons 24 races long, and every single one of those 23 races has been won by either Max Verstappen or Carlos Sainz. Now, I must note that phrasing it like that is very kind to Carlos Sainz, considering of those 23 races, Sainz only has 2 wins, the 2023 Singapore Grand Prix and 2024 Australian Grand Prix, with Max winning the remaining 21 and accomplishing the most prolific calendar year of racing in F1 history and maybe even in motorsport history. While we can all agree that it's impressive what Max has done over the course of the past year, and also that it's impressive that Carlos Sainz somehow managed to beat Max twice when nobody else could beat him even once, we can also all agree that we need this period of Max dominance to end ASAP for our own sanity and for F1 to be more fun and able to more easily attract new fans once again. Hopefully Max and Adrian Newey both move on to different teams ASAP so that all that is more likely to happen. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. You're an F1 fan, so you know that reaction time is super important, and if you're a dude 18 or older looking for a way to improve your reaction time, look no further than my sponsor, BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a men's wellness company offering a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and if you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it is all done online, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are all made in the USA and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code FBO at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code FBO to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information, and we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. Here are my 3 bona fide race predictions for this weekend's Formula One Miami Grand Prix. My first race prediction is that the Miami Grand Prix podium will consist of the very same drivers as the Chinese Grand Prix podium, Max, Checo, and Lando. I believe this because Miami's circuit is very similar to China's with its balance of straights, low-speed corners, and high-speed corners, so I think we'll see a similar end result. Also, because McLaren are introducing upgrades that should make them even faster than they were in China, especially if they're anything like last season's McLaren midseason upgrades. And also, I believe this because Red Bull have always performed well in Miami, and their car is a rocket ship. My second race prediction is that USA-based Haas F1 team will finish in the Grand Prix points in Miami. Not only are Haas on an absolute tear right now, having finished in the points in 3 of this season's 5 races thus far, including 3 of the last 4, but they also finished in the points in Miami last season and are introducing upgrades that should build on their recent success, so I love them to keep their hot streak going with a home race points finish. My final race prediction is that Mercedes will have their best Grand Prix result yet in terms of points scored. Not only will Mercedes be going all out in an attempt to try and prove to Max Verstappen and Adrian Newey that they aren't a dumpster fire to hopefully attract them to join the team, but they also are introducing a major upgrade package that they're hoping will unlock some performance in their tractor that's hoping to one day become a car. And finally today, here's my prediction for the 2024 Miami Grand Prix top 5 finishers with zero reasoning nor explanation. P5 Carlos Sainz, P4 Charles Leclerc, P3 Lando Norris, P2 Checo Perez, and P1 Max Verstappen. Leave a comment with your 2024 Miami Grand Prix race predictions so I can judge them. But before you comment, remember to subscribe and then help me out by getting this video to 1,500 likes by tossing it a like. Special shout out to my top YouTube channel members, Joe Max's #1 hater Snow, Brian Linton, Daddy Fett, Wolf Loves Racing, Wavalopicus, and David Hake. Mash that join button just below this video to get your name shouted out right here in future videos, as well as a bunch of other awesome perks for less than $5 a month. Until next time, folks, J-Bone! J-Bone!